Welcome to this Qigong routine for summer. In this routine, we're going to be using some crane Qigong, which is really good for helping your balance, for cooling the heat of the heart during the summer. In other words, helping to calm anxiety and help you find calm and inner peace. We're going to begin with our feet under the shoulders, starting with just a little breathing exercise, taking the hands palms face up under the belly, lifting up to the heart with an inhale, flipping the hands down, exhale, pressing back down to the belly. Turn the palms face up, inhale through your nose. Turn the palms, exhale, press down, also through the nose. We're linking the energy of the abdomen with the heart. We think of the abdomen as a place where we can find calm and peace and stillness in Qigong. And so we can connect that with the heart as a way to help ground that energy of the heart. Sometimes we talk about the heart energy as being like fire, the emotions tending to move and flicker and change, whereas the energy of the lower abdomen is more like deep water, full of stillness and quiet. Take your palms on the front of the thighs. We're going to begin an exercise called the wave. Nice one to open the spine, hips, and neck. Lift your chin as you send your hips back, dropping the chest down. Then drop your chin and push the hips forward, rolling up through the spine. Lift the chin at the top, drop the chin at the bottom. You can do these with some long breaths as well, inhaling up, exhaling down, rolling through the spine. We're just going to begin this practice with a few joint opening techniques. Now feel free to use this smaller motion if that feels gentler on your spine. You don't have to come down quite so far. Just demonstrating here if you have back pain or anything like that. And then here, another option, bigger. We call this the white crane soaring. The back of the hands are going to float forward, and then the palms will spiral upwards as you pull them into the chest. As the hands go forward, the hips go back. Then hips come forward as the hands pull back. Begin to add again that spinal wave motion by dropping the chin at the end of the motion and then lifting it when we stand back up. So getting a nice spiraling and opening through the shoulders and wrists now. Making sure our joints and connective tissues are all lubricated, integrated, open. Now cross your wrists and start to spiral the hands, spiraling the wrists around each other as we do this motion. So again, as the hands come forward, we'll sink our hips back. As the hands come back into the chest, pull your hips forward. You can just breathe naturally here. Ideally breathing through your nose. And just winding energy through your wrists, elbows, and shoulders and spine. But also starting to think about your heart a little bit here. Like we're breathing a cool breeze in through our heart, like the hands gather the breeze. You can switch which wrist is on top of the other and continue the motion. As you breathe, imagine you're gathering a cool breeze to blow through the heart, gently calming the heart. Very nice. And then we'll just work on the wrists themselves. So here, each hand and wrist is circling independently, as well as the two wrists circling around each other. So we have two circles here, the circle of the wrist itself and the wrists circling around each other. Switch directions if you haven't already. Really open through the fingers, express through the hands. We're not just working on the joints, but all the connective tissues that wrap through and around the joints. Now let's work the elbows. So keep your elbows a little bit out from your ribs. Circle the hands and forearms around those elbows. Try to keep the elbows at one point in space. And notice here I'm still involving the wrists and hands. They bend and flex. Bend and flex. And go the other way. In Qigong, we think of joints as places where the energy can often be blocked. This is why it feels so good when you've been sitting for a long time to get up and stretch. Let's move this to the shoulders, rolling the shoulders up, back, down, and forward. Up, back, down, forward. Notice how I'm rotating my upper arm bones in the shoulder socket as I do this. We find our full range of motion in our joints. We clear away the qi stagnation of lymphatic fluid. Let's bring our palms together behind the back in a prayer that's pointed downwards. We're going to begin to stretch the neck. So start to slowly circle the head. If you need more stretch, bringing those hands further up your back will give you more. Some slow circles. You might even feel the stretch go from the neck down into the shoulders or even the forearms or hands. And go the other direction. Just loosening up the body before we find our crane-style Qigong. If you've done my crane Qigong videos before, you'll find that this one builds on that with a few more exercises. Now drop your chin to the chest, tuck your tailbone, sink your chest back, keep your hands in that reverse prayer position. Let's hold here, breathe between the shoulder blades. This should be a nice upper back stretch. And then shake it out. Good. Take your hands on the hips. Let's start to get more into the lower body. Give the hips a big circle. And circle the other direction. Back to the center. And then start to find your circle again. This time just letting the upper body fall away from the hips. So when the hips go back, the upper body falls forward. Hips go to one side, upper body falls to the other. And just allow the shoulders to just roll around in the sockets. I like to call these zombie hip circles. Go the other direction. And of course, be careful not to pinch your spine anywhere. So if you feel pinching in your low back or neck, for instance, you might need to give a little more effort to keep the spine more upright. Very nice. Back to the center. Let's take the hands on one knee, step back with the other foot. We'll start some knee circles here. Start off real small with those circles. Just make sure that your knees can tolerate it. Only make the circles as big as you can do with zero pain in the knee. And if even the smallest circles are painful, you can just use your hands and make little circles with friction around the knee. Go the other direction. And let's switch legs. We're giving the knee a little healthy stress here to coax more blood flow into the cartilage and ligaments and tendons around the knee. in order to encourage the growth and maintenance of those tissues. A healthy stress means we feel some challenge, but we don't feel any pain. If there's pain, you want to back off because that stress is working in the opposite direction you're hoping for it to. Go the other direction again. And step back together. Shake it out. Very nice. Our last joint, our ankles and feet. Balancing on one foot. Circling the toes. And as big a circle as you can. And go the other direction. Hold on to something if you need to here. This will help warm up our balance too. Let's do the other leg. We're going to need our balance for this practice, but we're also trying to work our balance. So we're going to try to start where we are. If balance is really tough for you, go the other direction here. If balance is really tough for you, have a chair handy or a wall handy as we do some of these crane exercises that rely on balance. So we really want to start where we are. Let's come back to the center, shake it out. Bounce and shake. Let out a few sighing breaths. Bring your hands up, shoulder height. Just really let that shaking open up through the wrists and hands here. Palms face up. And over the head. Feel this really clear the heart, this exposed position. We open our internal organs to be vulnerable. Let some stress and fear out through your mouth. And then the reverse, round forward, cross your wrists. Shake the wrists down towards the earth. And then back up to neutral. Very nice. Feel your body. Feel that buzz. That piezoelectric charge in the bones. And we'll step our heels together. Toes pointed out roughly 45 degrees. They can be more or less depending what's comfortable. We're going to take our palms face up under the lower abdomen. Elbows gently flared away from the ribs. Float your crown towards the sky, sink your tailbone towards the earth. We'll call this the crane meditation stance. Just find a few slow breaths through your nose. Breathe through your lower abdomen. And we're slowly going to begin to lift the hands just below the sternum and sink back down to the lower abdomen. With our breath, we inhale just to the bottom of the sternum. Exhale down a couple inches below your navel. Inhale up through the nose. Exhale through the nose. Again, connecting this fire center of the heart and water center of the lower abdomen. Slow, relaxing breaths. You're going to release from there. Lift the hands up just above the shoulders and then touch the fingers and thumbs together. Then open the palms and press the hands down back to shoulder height. Inhale, touch fingers and thumbs, lift up to about head height. Exhale, open palms, press slowly down to shoulder height. Again, all the breath through the nose. Think of this like pumping a bellows. Move energy through the heart. Armpits and the palms of the hands strongly connect to the heart in Chinese medicine. Now come all the way down and float back up, shoulder height, finding the motion of a crane flapping its wings. Again, inhaling on the upwards motion, arms slightly rounded. Exhale on the downwards, slight curve in the wrists and elbows, just like the wings of a crane. Now you're going to bend your knees and lift your heels as your hands lift up. Then set your heels back down, stand back tall as your hands come down. On this variation, the palms start turning upwards as they come to shoulder height. And they slowly turn back towards the thighs as they come down. The arms here are floating just slightly forward of the shoulders as well, pointing about 45 degrees out to the sides. Same breath pattern. Inhale the hands up, lifting the heels. Exhale, hands down, heels planting. Then we're going to round at our waist, fold forward, cross the wrists, roll our way up, shift our weight to one foot, and as the hands part, we're going to lift one knee, bringing the foot in front of the knee. And come back down, cross the wrists, forward fold, roll up, shift to the other side, lifting the other knee, pointing the toes and crossing that foot so it's protecting the knee. A little maneuver we borrow from martial arts here. So our inhales here as we're coming up and standing on one leg. A little breath hold if we need to. Exhale as we plant the foot and come down. Rounding the back, bending the knees. Inhale as we roll back up. Shift to one side. Stand on one leg. Exhale as we plant down and fold forward. It's a bit of a long breath on this one, so if it's too long of a breath for you, feel free to just breathe naturally for now. Good, settle it down. This next one, we're going to turn the back of the hands towards each other to begin. We're going to turn 45 degrees to one side, bring the toes out to touch the ground, open the wings, and then bring the back of the hands back together and step back in. Same thing to the other side. Step 45 degrees, keep your weight in the back leg, open the wings, step back, bring your wings back in. Now just all together, we step out and turn and open the wings, back to the center, wings fold. We do this with our breath. Inhale, open, turn to the side. Exhale, back to the center. Inhale, open, staying back weighted. The toes just lightly touch the floor. Exhale, back to the center. If you find this bothers your knees or hips or ankles, just try taking a very small step. The smaller the step, the gentler this will be on your joints. Good, back to the center, relax. Now step to the corner again, open the wings, bring your chest forward, and this time shift the weight into that front foot. Then as the wings come back down to close, shift your weight to the back foot. Step that foot back in, and step to the corner with your other foot, lifting the wings, then opening, shifting the weight forward, closing, coming down, shifting the weight back. And once your hands are down, step that front foot back to the center. From this point, the breath can just be natural. Opening, closing, shift back and down. Breath is natural, but we still breathe through the nose, lips closed, tongue on the roof of the mouth. When our tongue touches the roof of our mouth, not only connects the energy pathways of the body from a Chinese medicine lens, but it also helps to put pressure on the upper palate, which actually opens up the sinus cavities, and makes more space for the flow of air and blood to the brain. Move your arms like the wings of a crane. And let the motion become a moving meditation. Come back to the center for our standing meditation, palms face up. Heels together. Breath through the nose. And place one hand under the lower abdomen. The other hand will circle to the side. We'll close with our centering motion here, drawing down the center line. Palm face up under the belly, other hand circles. Inhaling. Exhale down the center line. Inhale, circle. Exhale down the center. Notice I follow my hand with my gaze, and what's really my attention. I'm sending my attention outwards and then directing the attention inwards. I'll come down and pause with that upper hand in a half prayer position at the heart. And just feel again that watery influence of the lower abdomen, calming the fire of the heart. Like the wax and the wick of the candle. The yin and yang. Fold over lower abdomen and just relax for a few breaths into bamboo in the wind. With that narrow stance, we just let ourselves relax and begin to rock and sway. Continually scan through your body, find where you're holding on to tension. Where can you release? Where can you let go of control? Most of our time, our attention's focused externally on the things we can control, changing the world to make us happy. But in Qigong, we turn our attention inwards to find that place that is happy regardless. Let's step back out and circle the belly. We're going to close with a brushing motion, just bringing the palms together over the head, touching the back of the neck. Brushing down the sternum, brushing to the low back, down the back of the legs, up the inside of the legs, and circling the belly. Again, inhale up, touch the palms, exhale, brush around your neck, down your sternum. Inhale your waist to low back, exhale back of the legs. Inhale inside of the legs, and exhale, circle. We'll do once more. Inhale, lift. Exhale, brush neck and sternum. Inhale to the back. Exhale down the legs. Inhale up the legs. And circle your belly. Pause at the dantian. And then bring the palms to prayer at the heart. Just feeling the state of peace we've cultivated. Just setting an intention for what we want to do with it in our day or evening, or week or month. How can we keep this peace? How can we spread this peace? How can we cultivate this peace further? And we'll let it go with a sigh. Thanks for practicing. Hey, I hope you enjoyed that Qigong routine for summer. Hopefully it has your heart open, but still calm and chill. While I have you here, it really helps my YouTube channel if you can hit that like button below. I know it's a pain in the butt to hear these at the end of every video, but it really helps me out. Hit the like button, leave me a comment, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. That'll make sure that you see these videos as they get posted. A few other things in my world. I do YouTube live, so if you want to get notifications about when I'm going live on YouTube for a live class out of my studio, make sure you sign up for my email list. So the best way to do that is just to go to my website, nicklawfrey.com. That should be linked below in the description. And a little pop-up will come up, and you actually get a free e-course in exchange for jumping on my email list. So the first email you get after you put your email into that form that pops up will be an email with a 100% off code for my brain reset little mini course. So that has a nice diet and cleanse and Qigong routine and everything you can do to help with resetting your brain and your liver and your gut, and just this whole axis that works together. Brain, gut, liver axis, that all works together to keep your mental health good, your brain sharp, cognitive performance high, all that good stuff. So it's a great little course and worth giving a shot, and you get it for free when you get on my email list. And once you're on that email list, you'll also see notifications about when I go live, when I launch a new course, when my teacher trainings are going live, all that kind of stuff. When I put up a new YouTube video, all this stuff you'll get on my newsletter, and I promise I don't barrage you with constant sales calls. Most of what I send out on that newsletter is free stuff like these YouTube videos. So make sure you check that out on my website. Also, if you're interested, you'll see also on my website, I have a Qigong teacher certification program. It's an online program, so you can do it from anywhere. We do a live stream every weekend. It's usually about a 3-hour class where we have Q&A, we do a Qigong routine together, and then throughout the week you get a bunch of homework with lecture videos and videos going into more detail about the exercises we're learning. And then we come back together for it, and you can ask questions about those videos or about anything about Qigong in our Q&As. And of course, if you can't make the live streams, I've made the program as convenient as possible, where you can actually just watch the replays of those live streams if you can't make it, and type your questions in via email. So it's a great program. You actually learn dozens of Qigong forms and Daoyin, Taoist yoga forms, everything from sort of super challenging animal-style Daoyin to very gentle silk reeling and 5-element flows and whatnot. So we really span a broad range of exercises within Qigong that gives you a big toolkit. So if you do want to go out and teach, you have lots of tools to pull out of your back pocket. If you're teaching young people or athletes or people at the gym, maybe you want to pull out some of that more challenging Daoyin and whatnot. If you're teaching at the retirement home or wherever where people need gentler Qigong, then you have lots of tools for that. And that goes for your personal Qigong toolkit as well. If you don't want to teach Qigong, which about half the people in the course usually want to teach and half usually don't, you'll still get a lot out of it with all these tools to put in your back pocket. So when you're on vacation, you're away from Wi-Fi, you don't have internet, you can head out to the beach or to the river or wherever and do some Qigong that you actually have memorized, which is really nice, and do it with great form that you do safely, that you get more benefit out of, and all that. So if you're ready to take your Qigong to the next level, that might be a good place for you to check out. Again, that's just on my website. Usually I'm running 2 a year, so look out for one in the fall, one in the spring typically. And you can check out my website for more details on that. Other than that, if you want to get to know me more personally, feel free to follow me on Instagram or even TikTok, where I share a lot more just my day-to-day life, what food I'm eating, what workouts I'm doing, what Qigong I'm doing, what I'm doing with my wife, Charity, who's picking flowers somewhere in the background here. You can kind of get to know me a little better there. And I also post reels and whatnot, just little videos where you get extra tips on your Qigong practice and diet and stuff like that. So if you want to get more stuff that isn't always on this YouTube channel, you can also follow me there on Instagram or TikTok if you have it. Well, thanks so much for sticking around for my long spiel. Thanks for doing this Qigong practice for me. And thank you so much for trusting me with your body and mind in these practices. But of course, let me give you my big lesson I always try to teach everybody, which is don't trust me more than you trust your body. So as you go through my library videos here on YouTube or do my YouTube lives or any of my trainings, always remember, listen to your body. Your body has more intelligence than any human could ever get in the abstractions of their mind. Listen to your body. If something doesn't feel right or something feels better than something else, listen to your body and go with it, and it'll always lead you to better places. Thanks for practicing, everybody, and I'll see you soon.